What it do, what it do, what it do. And if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back to episode 3 of They Gon' Feel Me, where you have authentic conversation by authentic men. Now today, they didn't put your boy on the front line. I'm hosting. I got control. You feel me?
What you
It's your
got?
boy, Chris, Dennis Schroeder's Agent Carver. Look, I don't get paid no money. He ain't gonna get paid no money. Fuck you talking about. You feel me? We offered him 84. He didn't want to take it. So he gonna get to the back of the bus. We ain't worried about that. That's gonna be my introduction. I'm gonna go ahead and slide you to my boy next to me with the gold mic brother himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
You see it. It's your boy Al C. De La Croix Belafontaine Esquire the third. They call me the Continental. I'm also called that nigga when they picture on your girl transgression. So like that's me. I'm gonna kick it to below me right now. Go for it.
Hey yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Reezy. Pray for her, Hendrix. I got 8 baby mamas. I don't know why y'all trying to get a dime out of me. I ain't getting you chicken heads nothing. Nothing. So my advice to y'all is stop trying to come up off the kid. All right? I'm to the milder brother beside me, the romantic brother.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rob Romance. The name is self-explanatory. You want to get some tips on how to woo the women? Take notes, peep game. Let's get these topics. What you say, Chris? Let's go.
Y'all boys feeling all right tonight?
We good. We
I see my boy pouring up the sauce. My other boy got his wine ready. We in there. So
it's mouthwash.
Well, look, this is how we gonna kick it off. We got some good topics for y'all today. So starting off, we got Future and his baby mama. Now, this past week, there was an incident where Future's baby mama, Brittany Mealy, the mother of their 8-year-old son, shared some posts, some screenshots on, I believe it was Instagram or Snapchat, talking about how Future was texting their 8-year-old son saying that she's a garden tool. Okay. Brittany Mealy has since then, been putting in claims on Future, one of those being child abuse. So based off of that subject and what was shared and what your boy Future said, we already know who Future Hendrix is. So based off of what he said and what she shared, what do you guys feel about that?
Do you really expect anything less out of Future?
Not at all. Not at all.
It's like all the mean quality stuff that this dude has done in his short career, whether he got an album out or not, is just priceless in the halls of F-Boy, Hall of Fame. It's not shocking at all. But, as entertaining as Future can be, you know what I'm saying, the reality of the matter is this is hella problematic. I do think that it's also problematic that every time you have an issue, I feel as if this generation feels as if like you have to go to like the internet and share it to the rest of the world to put somebody on blast. But it kind of reminds me of like that clip that was from that movie with with Cat Williams and his son where he talked bad about his baby mama and what have you. It's just a bad look, don't trash your mom. It's like y'all might not work out, y'all might not be ever anything ever again, but don't trash your mom in front of your kids, especially at an impressionable age. We really do need, no matter how entertaining and I guess Future can be, we really do need to stop raising this generation of people that basically feel as if it's cool to to say anything about your mama, whether it's true or otherwise, to say that, put that into the atmosphere, that negativity. You be the best you possibly be. I feel as if that should be the proper course of action. So that's why I got that.
Yeah, for me, I'm not surprised, bro. Do I condone it? No. I feel like, it's an 8-year-old kid. Like, you shouldn't be texting the kid that his mama's a garden tool. But at the same time, this goes back to accountability as well. Like, Future has 8 baby mamas and counting. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, what do you expect? Like, you know, his track record. And my biggest question is for these women is, why do y'all keep having unprotected sex with this guy? Like, I get it. If you want to have sex with him, if you're intrigued by him, go. I mean, by all means, do what you do, but at least protect yourself. Like, don't have a kid with somebody that you know for a fact is probably not going to take care of his kids. Like, look at Sierra and Russell Wilson. Like, Russell Wilson is basically those kids' dad now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at some point, you know, I get it that Future's a F boy, and you know he doesn't take care of his responsibilities. But at some point, we got to hold these women accountable as well. Like, y'all got to stop making bad decisions and stop trying to come up on somebody that's famous, you know, by having a kid with them. And I don't know what he may promise them that he's gonna take care of them, but at the end of the day, you gotta take care of yourself. Like, stop having unprotected sex with these rappers and these entertainers, you know, in hopes that you're gonna come up on a check.
Boy, I see Reezy.
Hey, man, it's the truth. Like,
Reezy Samuels is rearing his head.
Bro. Like, it is what it is. You call a spade, bro.
What did you do?
Yeah, real talk though, man. Real talk though. We all know that Future is toxic. And in fact, anytime you see his name, you're he's kind of one of those individuals where, like, anytime you see his name trending on Twitter, you automatically, your mind jumps to one or two things. Either he's dropping an album or something got to do with a baby mama.
Or some shit that he ran through.
It's just one of those.
He puts it out in his music. It's not like he doesn't put it out there for everybody to know. I can name. I mess with Future. I listen to a lot of Futures, though.
It's one of those. It's one of those two things, man. But like I said, it goes back to accountability, responsibility, and you got to look at it, man. He old enough to know better. But you know, as the old saying goes, hurt people hurt people. So I mean, honestly, he's left a trail of baby mamas and disgruntled women and uncared for kids. And you got to think, going on to that next generation, who's gonna break the cycle? You know, because luckily his kid with Sierra, Russell Wilson stepped up. But what about all those other kids that he has? And if you're around that kind of atmosphere, and you have that kind of male role model or absentee father, what are you seeing from a real male role model perspective? So I think it's just a rough situation. But I think somebody in his corner, somebody in his camp, needs to stand up and be like, bro, you need to go get some counseling. You need to go get some help or something, because it's obvious the relationships that you have with women is not healthy. I mean, it's something to break down.
There's people I don't think anybody in his camp is being like, man, you really did that chick wrong that time, Future. Yeah. You know, like ain't nobody in his pocket like telling him like nothing like that. I mean, the best thing I can say is
they all go ahead.
Go on, you go ahead.
Now I was gonna say it's because they all the same. Birds of a feather flock together, man. Yeah. Like you look at a lot of these rappers, you know, they follow the same path. Look at Boosie. Boosie, another one, got a ton of kids, you know, and now his track record is, I think he takes care of majority of his kids, but I mean, more often than not, these entertainers, these rappers, like they have multiple kids by multiple different women. Like,
and then Boosie, didn't Boosie like try to get his kid like laid one time too?
Yeah, like, he tried it. It was like a year or two ago, something like that. It happened, but I mean, like you said, we hear it in the music all the times. not to point to the music and make it seem like it's something just solely about the music. But I mean, we hear it in the music all the time. And you have a lot of them that don't live by what they say, but then you have a lot of them that actually do. And I mean, I think it's safe to say that Future is one of those that actually lives by what he talks about in his music. So am I surprised by it? No. Even if I had a falling out with a baby mama, would I send that to my kid? No, that's not something that I would ever do. I'm not going to get my seed involved in our stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with most parents. Most parents aren't going to get their kids involved with stuff that goes on, because grown man business, grown woman business is just that, grown man or grown woman business. So it was wrong. It was a foul play of him to send that. And I think somebody in his camp definitely needs to pull him to the side, like, hey, yo, bro, like I understand what you're doing. Even if they don't stop him from doing what he's doing, because I mean, you're not going to stop him. His name is so big, but I mean, you can at least be like, look, bro, don't get your kids involved in it. You know what I'm saying? That's not worth it. But moving on to the next topic, since we on the topic of baby mamas, my boy PJ. Goddamn PJ. So recently this week, I know you guys have seen everything about PJ Washington and Brittany Renner. But PJ Washington and Brittany Renner got a little bit of history. So apparently they've been talking for about a year and a half, 2 years, which led to them. Yeah, they got married. They exactly did. They got married, right? And then after getting married, they started working on a child. But apparently in the back of we're going to call it what it is, that thought's mine. You know what I'm saying? The Insta thought's mine. She already had it made up that once she was pregnant, apparently from what's been floating around, she had already had the divorce planned. And now she got your boy PJ. The boy, is he even starting? Is he in the starting lineup?
I don't know.
I don't think he's in the starting lineup. But she get them for 200 of them things.
He's a hell of a player, though.
He's a hell of a player, but $200K a month.
That's a lot.
Tell me what y'all feel about that. Y'all tell me what you feel about that.
Now, I'll say this. I've seen conflicting stories, because there are some people that say that's not true. Like the child support payments are not they're disputing those claims. So you never know what's true and what's false. But I think it still speaks to a larger thing. Well, our young males, young athletes, entertainers, or people that have status, quote unquote status in our society. A lot of times they are naive to a certain amount of things, and they have targets on their back. I mean, whether we want to be real about it or not, they do have targets on their back, and there are people laying in wait, just for an opportunity to manipulate them so that they could, cash out. They're looking at them as, hey, this is my meal, ticket or whatever to get where I'm trying to, be. An influencer, or I'm trying to strike it rich. So I think it's important for young cats coming up who sometimes they're not as hip on game, for lack of a better term. If you're a basketball player, you're worrying about getting better. You're working on your game or whatever. It's other aspects that you just have no idea about. You see an attractive girl, you're thinking like, okay, she's pretty attractive. Never realizing that, she has ulterior motives. You're thinking like, hey, she really likes me, for me. And the whole time she has a total different other plan. And I'll say this and pass it on to the rest of you guys for comments. A lot of times you can predict the future by looking at the past. And if you look in people's past track record and their actions, you can see like, okay, you kind of got like you got like a MO, a modus operandi, how you operate. You know, I'm seeing you ain't messing, you know, how the song go. I'm not calling you a gold digger, but you ain't messing with no broke.
bro.
I'm just saying.
I mean, we ain't gonna. You don't think that boy got Instagram? No, you don't think he done seen her? I mean, I know if you get somebody like that, you're like, damn, Mr. Trophy, I'm finna show it off to the hood. But still, you don't think the boy got Instagram where he could have seen she was a thought?
I think he's seen her, but I think a lot of these dudes, that's what they like. You know what I'm saying? Like they like
true
out here that's popping on the gram, and they think just because of their status that, you know, they can maintain that type of chick. But to me, this all goes back to money can't buy you happiness. Money can't buy you loyalty.
No,
you know
sir.
No amount of money, no amount of, you know what I'm saying, status is going to keep somebody loyal. If they have an ulterior motive, if, you know, from the get-go, you know, it's nothing that you can do that's going to change, you know, who they are. And we can go back.
Penis is not going to be the penis that changes.
And you know the famous saying, you can't turn the garden tool into a house.
Maybe we should do it. Ahead and said it.
This, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
Let them know.
I mean, so basically for my brother PJ Simpleton, Washington, you live and you learn, bro. You know, we all been through it. We all done, you know, I'm sure we had our experience, or we learned from somebody who has been through it. So, you know, this is just his learning experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be cognizant of, you know, women and men, or well, men too, but you got to know your partner and know, you know, if they have an ulterior motive or if they're being genuine with you, because a lot of times people will show you who they really are. You just don't want to see it. You ignore it, you know what I'm saying? Because you fall so in love with, you know, maybe the physical or how they make you feel, and you kind of neglect what they're really showing you. You don't really see what's in your eye, in front of your eyes. You kind of see with your feelings, basically. So, I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm sure people in his corner was probably telling him the same thing, like, man, don't mess with this chick. And I've watched a couple of videos of Brittany Renner, like when she was talking, and just from her voice, bro, alone, I'm just like, why would you even mess with this chick?
Exactly.
Like, she just don't.
She talks.
She don't even
talks like a cocktail waitress from the 40s, talking about like all the men that she's bedded down. Like, she's so she's low-key goofy.
She sounds goofy.
She's very goofy.
She sounds hyper. That's like a dude talking about a body count. Like, I was just so disgusted, and I'm just like, bro, like, what? Like, why? I mean, on top of it, she ain't even that bad. Like,
nah,
that's just me personally.
She bad now. That video, she was.
I'm sorry.
What's that, Chris? You like, hold on.
Whoa, Reese Samuels. Bring it in, okay? Bring it in. I ain't saying I wanted to hit me for $200K, but if she came to the door, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look.
What happened behind my door? Got our own taste. But to me, personally, she ain't even worth that heartache. Honestly,
she ain't worth it.
Like, she ain't worth the heartache, but to say she ain't bad,
like, if I was in PJ Washington's stature, I'm sorry, but like, I'm just being honest. Ain't no way, like, giving off of her track record, I'm wifing her and putting a baby. Yeah, maybe.
Nah, not at all.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You hit it with the head.
But
oh no, my boy bobbing and weaving out there.
Trying to duck that $200K. But ain't no way, bro. Like I just feel like you know, like Rob was saying, a lot of these guys, they be so focused on their career, and they just don't, you know, they don't have time to really have a relationship or develop those relationship skills and the ability to recognize when somebody's kind of, you know, maybe taking advantage of you or have ulterior motives. So I think you know, I think it's on like a lot of these guys, especially these younger guys, to just be aware, man. Like to even if you don't have those skills, maybe the people around you do, and just kind of get their opinion and listen with open ears, bro. Don't just go based off of your emotions or your feelings because that can get you in trouble, bro. Like just be open to listen to people who have your best interests at heart, even if it may not be the advice that you want to hear. Like listen to it because they probably 9 times out of 10 are telling you something that you need to hear. But anyway, I've talked enough. I'll pass it on to my brethren.
So when when I heard about this whole situation, what spoke to me is like I went online and like I did some research. Apparently, they say that she's been grooming him since he was underage, got him to 18, then started throwing that monk on him and like got him to where he is now. And I remember when I was on Twitter and like I was doing some search and I saw this one post that this one girl, I don't know exactly who, she says basically I don't care about what happened to PJ, because niggas be getting finessed by light brights and exotic women all the time, and he
Got a
get
little hate
almost
on
kind of
her,
like
don't it?
he got what he deserved. And then some girl underneath like was saying, "Kick, oh yeah, girl, you kicking while they down," and it's like it kind of brings up this thing where one, I want to start off like this isn't this shouldn't be a topic that is about woman hating, right? Like I don't feel as if like we as men we have to like necessarily comment on the situation and then come from the standpoint of women hating. And with their comments, one thing that like struck with me is that it's this thing that always happens when it comes to these sex battle of the sexes type of situations where it's this unspoken thing with the female collective and the male collective. Like they have these childish adversarial type conversations and like they feel the way in which they feel and they have very strong opinions on both sides. And I'm just here to say, it reminds me of like Insecure when like everybody was like Team Lawrence, I am a part of the Lawrence Hive, my nigga Lawrence. But it reminds me of that. It's like everybody is like siding with one side for the wrong reasons, like on bad behavior. So let me go out and say, you are not winning the lottery when you cheer on a man or woman who is spiting their partner, right? You ain't bringing home the gold for the rest of the team when you're supporting somebody's toxic behavior. And I think that that's something that really needs to be addressed. Now, I will say aspects of this story, I don't know if she was grooming anybody. I don't know, like, I mean, it's as, I mean, I guess as a man, it's easy for me to say that basically she's a penis garage. I don't know if she's out here collecting penises, like they're infinity stones,
Yeah, here like Grand Theft
and she's
Auto.
gonna snap a finger, then wipe out somebody's like entire bank account or something. But I will say a lot of it's gossip, a lot of it's cap, a lot of it is public opinion. It's really not our business anyway. But
True.
I feel as if a lot of lessons can be learned from this situation. And I feel as if like I think y'all have kind of said it, and like I'll circle back to stop engaging in raw sex with people who you are not invested in, who is not invested in your relationship. Why you out here putting yourself out on the line like that? Why are you dedicating your life to somebody who might just supposed to be a fling, maybe
A
a one
lot of
night
time
stand?
for 5 minutes of pleasure.
Right? Why are you tying yourself down? You know what I'm saying?
But you know,
To
you
somebody like that.
know,
Like I
back in
mean,
2018, she put a video out about that, right? She said that
yeah,
athletes are the dumbest ones and they don't ever use protection. So,
right,
I
right. Like I
mean,
mean, and I would tell, and to those athletes, I would say, if you've got something to lose, protect yourself. On our last show, like somebody like criticized, like I received criticism or like the suggestion that like if you're a man like talking about what like what women should do with their bodies and stuff like that, like then that can be offensive to some women. And it's like it's not so much that I'm trying to tell you what I'm giving an opinion that I feel as if like you're doing something that like you should be doing, as much as like I feel as if like you really need to hold yourself accountable to things. We talk about accountability all the time, and the same thing goes for men. When you got something to lose, you got bank, you got your whole livelihood that you have to lose. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to like move different, my G. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to like get a vasectomy. You know, those are reversible, by the
True.
way. Get a vasectomy. You know what I'm saying? Because like you don't want to give somebody the opportunity to. I mean, maybe the 200K thing is like a rumor, but like you don't want to give anybody the opportunity to basically hit you up for funds that like you don't necessarily have, just because like you wanted to like bed down somebody who is cute. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Now on some 40-year-old virgin type stuff. Stop hooking up with girls just because they pretty. Stop putting the P word on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. It's like I think as men, it's this unspoken thing also that we feel as if, oh, she's pretty. Ah, she would never do that. Yes, the hell she can. You know, she might be trash. You know what I'm saying?
Uh, uh,
I'll
I, I
go
was
ahead.
gonna, I was gonna, I was gonna say like piggybacking off that point. I'll make 2 points that I think are really relevant to what you're saying, and I think a lot of times a word that we see is superficial. You know, a lot of this stuff is superficial. Like you see a chick and like, oh, she bad,
You gotta
style
know how
but
to
no
spot toxic people,
style,
bro.
style
You
but
gotta
no
see past
substance.
that superficial.
Style but no substance. You know, think about it. You know, this woman has the potential to be the mother of your children. And if she's not caring, you know, if she doesn't have any of those intrinsic values that you want to pass off to your kids, why put a baby in her? And then, 9 months run around or years later, she whooping you for child support or whatever, and you talking about, oh, I can't stand my baby mama. I can't stand my baby mama. Well, you should have thought about that before you
And
ran
they think about that. She bad,
before
and
you
they
ran up
just
in
want
them.
to beat it. That's it.
And
You
They
gotta
say
they
be
this,
able
got
to spot toxic people, bro.
and
Because
I'll
like,
say this last thing though.
mhm.
We've seen this before. Everybody, everybody remember
You've seen this
Corinne
before with her.
Steffens. Everybody remember Corinne Steffens, who
Mhm.
made a career of wrote books, diary, confessions of a video vixen. I'm talking about
And
she
she
made
wrote a
it
book
hot
too. Brittany
in the
Renner,
street.
Renner wrote a book too, also.
She did
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I said,
doing the same thing.
we've seen this. You tell all and put everybody out there on the street and whatever else, and you actually had people that were cheering, on.
I don't
And
believe
I'm
it.
not condemning. I'm not,
Right.
I'm not just talking, just speaking on her because we called Future on the carpet too. But the men bear responsibility too. It goes both ways. Toxicity, it doesn't just live on one side. It's a two-way street. But I'll let you
Bro.
go, Chris.
He posted a tweet where he said you've been faking it the whole time and then it supposedly it got deleted. You know, I don't know how true it is about like Brittany Renner and her like past, but like she's been linked to Colin Kaepernick, Drake, Little Uzi Vert, Trey Songz to say a few. I don't know if she was really grooming this dude or not. That could be cap, but I ain't gonna hold you. To be honest, what it looked like is that she went through it from the untrained eye. It looked like she went through all these people, and then she said, you know what? I've been trying to hook a big name celebrity. Let me aim from low hanging fruit and get this young boy. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like what 22 or something. Let me get this young boy. Let me
Yeah,
throw
about
this
21,
this
22.
yeah. Let me throw this pee at him. You know what I'm saying? Let me get his nose wide open, and
Wide
then
open.
let me take it for everything he got. And you got to be able to. I keep saying you got to be able to spot toxic people. I feel as if his friends and family, like everybody keep talking about people in the circle, but like I feel as if like friends and family really got to step up. Y'all will step up when y'all need like when y'all got your hand out wanting some money, just as much as y'all can show up to like be asked for that handout. Y'all got to be there with that advice too, my G. be like, hey, cuzzo, like, I mean, I understand it's hard for like a grown man to do what he want to do, and like maybe it's hard to tell somebody to do something they really want to do, but you need to step in and be like, hey, bro, how about like you wait at least a year before like you go and try and give her the ring before you try and get married. Maybe wait 2-3 years before y'all try for y'all first kid. Make sure the relationship is solid before like you. And like this girl don't look like she it straight up. She don't look like she it. You are going down the wrong path. I mean, honestly, he making 20 something mistakes. 20 something mistakes with like 40-year-old dude money. Like real money in the bank, and like it's going to affect him until he becomes a 40-year-old dude, literally. And like that's unfortunate. And he ain't got nobody in his pocket to like tell him that. Lisa Ann. Last thing I gotta say, Lisa Ann, porn star. You know what I'm saying? She apparently on her cougar shit has been like, I think she like got a thing for like NBA players, and then like she basically got into this thing where she was like basically trying to put them on game of how not to get hustled. Bro, no new friends, use condoms and flush your own condoms, lock your stuff away. Stop putting your stuff out there to like basically get hustled. Avoid peer pressure, like folk telling you to basically you need to go out and do all these silly things. You really need we really need to like tell these new generation of guys like, hey, yo, you need to protect yourself, G. Whether you got a lot or a little, like stop putting yourself out there like that, and then thinking it's cool just because like she cute. Just because she cute don't mean like don't stop getting played by a bottle service girl, my G.
True.
I mean,
true.
I was just gonna say maybe it is his age, like you said, that he is 20 something with like 40 something money, and I mean I relate it to like I think a lot of men have been in that situation where they have been told by their moms or their dads like, hey, this ain't the right one, but is it still something about that chick that just draws you into them, and you don't want to listen to that, what I'm saying? So you keep going back, and it's gonna take you to get hurt to realize, hey, they was right. You know what I'm saying? I know myself, I've been through that situation, like where my folks have warned me about somebody, and it took me to get hurt to realize that, hey, they was telling the truth. And now these are the things that I should look out for. And I think with PJ Washington, like we going back to him being a basketball player, it's probably even worse for him because he really doesn't, like I said, like we said before, like he doesn't have those relationship skills. He probably hasn't been with many women on that level as far as like being with them, over a long period of time. Like I no doubt he's probably had women in his life and physically, but as far as like relationship, like long-term relationship, I doubt that he's probably been with a woman like long-term, like who's really been loving and caring and all those things that you look for and for a woman to be the mother of your child. So he probably doesn't have many examples other than maybe his own mother. Or maybe some women around him. But like I said, maybe it's his age. Like sometimes you tend to be blind to those things, and it takes you going through something this extreme to learn, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? When the stove is hot, maybe you shouldn't touch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get burnt that one time, and then you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
But 20,000, 200,000 a month.
200K.
I know that's a big mistake. But I mean,
y'all said it.
But
y'all said it all.
These athletes, they throw away money like it's nothing. Like,
I mean, yeah, they do.
Athletes, entertainment, period. Like, because when they get the money so fast that they don't even know what to do with it. They half of them wasting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, statistics out there. Stay statistics about these, athletes. Right. When they get out the league, a lot of them broke. You know what I'm saying? Because they done spent so much money trying to keep up with the Joneses. They don't know how to manage their money. So I'm not surprised, with this type of mistake that a young guy is making, because like when you get that money that fast, I mean, you really don't know what to do with it, and you liable to do anything, because you like, I got it, so it really don't matter,
True. I mean, y'all said it all, to be honest with you. I mean, not to victim shame him or nothing like that. I mean, it's one of those things he should have knew, should have saw coming. But Rob, I feel like made one of the best points, stating that, he plays basketball. He probably doesn't have time to look into all that type of stuff. So good talk, good talk, good talk, good talk. So we spoke on, you know, her going and pursuing him. So looking at the next topic, the evolution of the chase, it seems like over the course of time, we've had a kind of like a changing of the guard where us as men were generally chasing women. Now it seems like we see more women sliding in men's DMs and shooting a shot, getting out there trying to get things started. So based off of that topic, how it kind of leads into this topic, how do y'all think the evolution of actually chasing the opposite sex has changed to where it's more of like a woman dominant thing?
Well, you know what I hate about like going back to Brittany Renner? I hate
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to like the idea of the chase. I hate the idea of a generation of women who see those type of women, these Insta models and what have you, and then like I mean, I hate the idea of anybody seeing that and then thinking that rather than going out and doing something honest and making something of yourself, you feel as if like hustling, deceit is like the way in which like you can get over on somebody in order to solidify your future. It's like, oh, I'm getting 30. I better like, you know, get pregnant by a baller and then like, you know, sticking for money for the next few years so I can always have my Balenciaga. I hate that as a concept, you know.
Yeah.
It's just that's problematic as hell to me, you know. But somebody else speak on something else. I'll get it back
Yeah,
around to a better
I,
point.
I think you can look at this. You can look at this two ways. You can look at it. You can look at it as a positive, and you can also look at it as a negative, or as like a predatory. You know, as we just spoke about, you know, the Brittany Renner situation. You know, looking at
Mm-hmm.
it from a predatory standpoint of, you know, with the advent of social media, you know, you have things such as Snapchats, your Instagrams, your OnlyFans, and you have all these, you know, you have all these venues where, like, if you have an ounce of knowledge about, you know, taking care of your body, you know, working out or anything, and you know, you throw you a couple videos on Instagram, a couple pictures, sexy pictures or whatever, get you a little following, then make you an OnlyFans account, and then bam, start clocking. Um, by the same token, when you saying the chase, you know, sometimes women are playing chess,
Check.
Chess.
and men are playing checkers. You know, it'll be a situation where you swear you're pursuing her, but the whole time she was orchestrating she was orchestrating the whole thing, and she allowed herself, you know, she put herself in a position for you to appear like you're the one, you know, on, you know, out there wooing her.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, I guess the potential positive side, uh I don't I don't particularly see anything wrong with aggressive women from the standpoint of women who know what they want and who aren't afraid to tell you, like, hey, I think you're attractive. You know, who are about their, you know, not playing any games. You know, not the type that will know they like you and will just sit there and wait and not say anything to you. And then let's say you go off and talk to somebody else, and they're like,
Then they'll
oh,
bad
so
mouth.
you got a girlfriend now? Yeah.
It's always the leading argument right there.
Oh my God.
You wanted me to wait on you to say something, huh? But you know, I think it's something to be said for assertive women who know what they want. And I mean, because honestly, my longest relationships have come via assertive women, and I kind of delve into it with the next topic. But you know, women who came, you know, came on out and said what they you know, said they found me attractive. You know, what's going on? You know, you can't give.
Why
her,
do you see? Was it
her-
like you see so much on social media about where they say that women should make the first shot or shouldn't come to you and tell you handsome? It's up to the man to come and initiate the conversation, initiate everything. Why does it seem like it's a problem if it goes the other way around?
I think it's just
Go ahead.
I think it's just a traditional thing, man. Like I think people so stuck on tradition, that they don't want to, this is a
But
modern
we don't live
society.
traditionally though.
I
It's the
know
crazy thing.
that's what I'm getting to. Like I think that people don't understand that this is such a modern society and times have changed where, now some women are out earning men. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, why can't women approach men if, our society is so-called equal now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be, if you want to approach a man and you got that's what you want, that's what you want. I don't see a problem with that. But I think our society is still stuck in trying to make certain things traditional that necessarily shouldn't be traditional. You know what I'm saying? And I think we gotta try to get out of that. It's not a problem with women approaching men, in my opinion. Especially if they know what they want, and especially in today's society where we have the Me Too culture, where guys are getting accused of sexual harassment sometimes just for merely talking to a woman. If you're not necessarily attracted to that woman, that could lead to, it's a slippery slope. It could lead to her saying that you're harassing her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's another thing. It goes back to attraction, like because there are women that are overly aggressive that may not be necessarily be as attractive that pursue men, and men be like, nah, and then they go ballistic. And I think that's another reason why women don't necessarily want to be the first to initiate, because traditionally they aren't. So they're more susceptible to being hurt by rejection than men are, because men try a lot more. So I think women take rejection a lot worse than men do.
I think you're spot on. You spot on with that one, because that's exactly what I was going to say. The last part about
let me say this, and I'll let you. I'm gonna let you talk, because I've had an experience with that. It was in middle school, but this girl liked me, and she was a bigger girl, and I was like, I of course, naturally, she's not. I mean, no offense, but you like who you like. So she approached me, and she said she liked me, and I was like, no, I don't like you. And I think we was in the gymnasium, and like she threw my backpack down the stairs or some shit. Like, bro, like she was that mad, and she was like,
"They gonna bully you in the little man." Wait a minute.
Talking about, I ain't want to talk to your ugly ass anyway. Now imagine if that was a man that threw a temper tantrum after a chick rejected him. And I'm not saying there are men
They do that. I ain't want your ugly ass no way.
But I'm just talking about the reaction, like the people around them would have if a man did that, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when I did it and she did it, it was no problem. But like if a man was to do that, it'd like people be like, bro, chill out. Like, what you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, I just feel like I said, women are a lot, they fear rejection a lot more than men, because men naturally, most men, I'm not gonna say all men, but most men have had those experiences, and most men are more, they're taught to be brave and go out and get what you conquer the world, go, kill to eat, hunt, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we have a natural inkling for those type of things. So I think we're a lot less hurt by rejection than women, basically.
I feel you on that. I had that type shit happen to me before. Somebody like me at work. I was like, nah, I'm good. I just got to have a long relationship though. So I was like, nah, I'm good. Man, it was real live aggressive with me. I was like,
That's what I'm saying.
Like
I remember,
like she was throwing like rude signals, and I sent that text like, yo, what's up? And I'm talking about she went off on me in the message. I was like, yo, hold up. I'm just trying not to hurt you. So sometimes people have to have especially if you've been through a long relationship and stuff like that. Some people may have your best interest at heart by saying no. It's not always one of those where you got to get super
people got to understand. It's
and
not
get
always
upset about it.
it's not
always about you.
It's not always about you. It's not always that the person may not necessarily. I mean, a lot of times it's like they probably not feeling you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like it may not. Sometimes it may not necessarily be you. It may just be that they just not at that point in their life to where they're ready to be in a relationship. So you just got to understand. And I think, like I said, when I think back, like to all the experiences that I've had with women, and I've had to reject or say no. A lot of times the women have been kind of nasty afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, God dang, bro. Like
but let's be real. Like most women, they don't like if a woman is really out of her comfort zone if she does certain things because of gender roles. I mean, people could talk about purity politics and gender roles and like how they don't like it, but like the reality of the matter is that like men are supposed to pursue and women are supposed to be basically be waiting to be get courted. And the idea of when that power balance shifts, just as negative as men have been, as men can be, like when they get rejected, women can do the exact same. And like the brazen, I hate to say the brazen, but like the woman who's forward enough to basically step up and say, hey, yo, you know, I like you. You like me back? No. What the fuck you mean you don't like me back? You know, like it's almost like a very human thing, right? To like to respond in that way.
But I also think it's a teachable moment because and something that we can always think about, and it's a lot of times not what you say, it's how you say it. Uh, because I had the experience, and you know, in college, in which happened and what happened to me, and I handled it totally. I handled it totally wrong. I'm man enough to say that I wasn't mature. You know, after I crossed, we had it was a block party, and you know, a girl had came up to me, and she was like, you know, I've been watching you for a long time. And I looked at her, and I wasn't attracted to her at all. And so the first thing popped in my head was, you know, she said, you know, I've been watching you for a long time. I was like, well, keep watching, and then walked off. You know, that what, you know, that,
well, I hope she didn't watch any podcast. You know, I hope she ain't watching. I hope she turned off a little minute ago. I hope she ain't making
not raw romance.
Not raw romance, one boy. No, sir. You been sipping it? Was you sipping the sauce that night?
I probably was. I mean, but like I said, the point. I mean, like I said, hey man, that's college. But the point is though, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because you know, you remember the old Theo Huxtable line, it's not you, it's me, it's me. But you gotta ask yourself, and we just gonna keep it real because we always say authentic men, authentic conversation. At the end of the day, don't you want truth? You know what I'm saying? Do you want somebody? Don't you want somebody to keep it real with you? You know, do you want when you're asking somebody or trying to get with somebody, they say just to placate you? At some point, don't you realize that, hey, it's kind of hard to fake the funk when you really not feeling somebody and just going along with it when you could have just nipped that in the bud and be like, you know what? I mean, I'm really flattered. I'm really flattered that you find me attractive, but I just don't see you, you know, I just don't see you in that way.
So
and that,
I don't mean to cut you off, but like, so I want to chime in, you know, just so, because, you know, move things along. Like, I'm going to speak more toward like this, the concept of the chase and save everything else to our next topic. So, you know, I look at, I mean, honestly, all four of us, we like married dudes, and like, I don't know, I would assume like most of us haven't dated in a very long time. So like, I mean, I'm basing this on like conversations I had with some of my single friends. And like, I mean, I just look at it like you know, dating nowadays is like completely different for us versus like how it was, or for just everybody, like versus like when we were, let's say, in our early 20s or what have you. I mean, you know, from what I see and what reports talk about, men and women, they're just not dating the same way as they used to. You know, we have much more of a hookup culture now than they did back then. And because women are in a different status and than what they were, let's say 20, 40, 50 years ago, like when for our parents, they have a certain level of forwardness that they choose to assert, because like it's different for them. And even if like they do or do not like assert, honestly, like from some of my female friends that are single, and I don't understand why they're single, because like they should be wifed up. For a lot of them, they tell me about like their dating stories, and it's like there's a lot of fuck niggas out there. Like I mean, they just are, like and it's like to look for what you want and feel as if like you don't have to settle. You have to like go through a whole lot of hoops and maneuvering in order to get what you want. And I feel sorry for women in that way. Here in Houston, like if you don't know, like the ratio is in men's favor. Okay, there's like 5 women to every man, and all of them look like cousins of Beyonce. Like I mean, you are coming here to date, and honestly, you're winning automatically off jump. Like I mean, you may find a Brittany Renner or two, but like honestly, you can find a winner. And like with this hookup culture, I mean, you gotta think about it. Like people, I look at this newer generation and how they interact with one another, and like it seems as if like like if I was single and dating, like shooters shoot, and I feel as if like y'all should be shooting a lot more. It's like just this newer generation. I feel as if like even studies say that they aren't having sex as much as we used to, like back in the day. They aren't dating as much as they used to back in the day. They aren't engaging people as much as they used to back in the day. With all this social media, like they
That's
honestly,
the
I feel
biggest
as if
thing, I
they've
think.
lost some skills of how to talk to people.
It's like
Social media.
Just in
like with
general.
like Tinder, you could just swipe left, swipe right.
Yep,
Like,
swipe left, swipe right, and then it was a special I watched on
that's a
Netflix where they were talking about stuff like that.
yeah, and
I
Where they
know
were
some
talking
people that
about like
basically they
getting
don't
on getting on
date.
those dating. They was getting on those dating apps solely for hookups, and like they
Right.
would
They
put
get
stars and stuff like that
get on those
beside each
apps
one, so
just to
they
find
knew.
somebody to smash.
Yeah, just
yeah,
to find
and I
somebody to
think
smash. It's part of the culture now.
I
It
think
seems
that's
like.
Right.
a lot of the problem too, though. With I know y'all said you was talking about the women, your friends, but I think a lot of women, I think it's a lot of times when you're dating, you're always looking for the best available option, and sometimes you might have a decent option, but you always in the back of your mind is like, oh, it's somebody better. And that's like with Tinder, it's like it's even worse. It's like on steroids. So you may go out on a date with somebody, you may really like them, you may vibe with them. They may be one of the perfect people for you. But then like you swipe left and you see this other dude or this other chick, and oh dang, she banging. Like seem like she got a nice personality. So I'm gonna go out with her and I'll put you to the side. So it's like you got this culture that's continuously trying to find the perfect person. And it's like people got to understand there is no such thing as a perfect person, bro. Like if you vibe with that person, like just be willing to build with somebody. There's always going to be something about a person that you don't like, but that's what relationships are about. You got to find a way to get beyond those barriers. And as long as it's something like minuscule, bro, like you can be with that person, bro, and work it out and get around that thing that you may not like. But as far as like nitpicking at little things, bro, like you're just it's no such thing as perfect, bro.
But I
Like
will say, I
no.
know 2 deltas, right? I know 2 deltas. One in the South, who I feel like she should be married. Like she should be married. She should have found a dude a long time ago. She's looking, and every dude is lackluster, right? I know another delta who's up north in New York or something. She living her best life. I mean, she ain't having the best dating experience, but like the idea of of being a wife and the kids is probably alien as hell is for her. It's just that when it's all said and done, for a lot of women, with how fickle us men can really be, it's slim pickings. It's slim pickings. It's hard for women in that way. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I get it.
that's what I got to say.
I know we got to go to the next topic. I was gonna say I get it, but I think it also it's just like I feel like it's who you dating too sometimes. Like
Yeah.
maybe you need to change your perception. Like stop trying to look for that certain guy, and you may have to open yourself up to somebody that you may not necessarily like. Like on that Like it may be like a physical thing, like or something. Like I know people's biggest word now is settling, but I think settle is such a bad word in this society. Like
But it's a truthful one.
It's got such a negative connotation to it.
But it's truthful.
But it's true. But I think when you talk about settling, I think it has such a negative connotation that some people are never going to be happy because they're always going to feel like they're settling. Like
but for some people, they finding the closest thing to what they want as opposed to what
but
they
at
want.
the end of the day, are they still settling though? They're still settling, though it may not be the perfect. At some point they're going to settle for somebody, something. Like they're never going to find that perfect person. But anyway, I know we got to move.
So I mean, even talking about this topic, you can kind of go into the next topic. You can go ahead and put the caption up there.
But this topic.
Well, that's still the old topic. We got to go to the next topic. There we go, reading signals. So evolution of the chase kind of goes into reading signals as well. So when we're talking about reading signals, based off of everything that we just talked about, what signals do you think you can get from a man or a woman when you're trying to pursue them, whether it's a sex signal, whether it's a, I'm giving you this signal where I'm not going for that now. I do want to build a relationship. What signals do you think people look for? And do you think these signals are obviously shown amongst, each other when they're chasing each other?
Man, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you. And I kind of alluded to it earlier. Why me personally, I'm more averse to more aggressive women because I'm more laid back. Because in regards to reading signals, man, growing up a lot, I was illiterate. You know what I'm saying? From a standpoint of it would be chicks that they'd be like, hey, she like you. I'm like, man, no, she don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm normally a very friendly person. I hate saying no. I hate saying no to people. And sometimes people can take nice and being friendly as you're interested. You're interested in
flirting.
Or that when that's really the furthest thing from from my mind. So reading signals for me, that's always been like a gray area, because I'm like, because you almost like what Reezy said too. You kind of in regards to the Me Too stuff, because in a man's head, he might not. I mean, all men may think about it, but we, it's just like subconsciously. You like, man, I don't want to come off as a creep. I don't want to be overly aggressive or too aggressive or
misread that signal that you thought you were.
Or she says something and then I jump quickly into referencing something playful and sexual. And like, ooh, did I go too far? Did I go too far with that? But the only way you're gonna know is like, reading reading signals. Because if she give you a response like, oh, okay, is that green light? Is there red light? Or is there yellow?
Exactly.
Is there yellow light? And, you kind of don't want to jump out there and say some wow, and they can throw the whole thing off. Because you could be working, you can be like, yeah, man, I'm kind of feeling her, she feeling me, and then you say that wrong thing, and you either friend zoned, or you either like, man, get this Negro out of here.
They're gonna clown your ass like behind your back.
You're gonna be in the group.
I think any normal person should be able to read, like any normal person that ain't just fully thinking with their private part should be able to read signals. Because I mean, even thinking back to how I got into, I mean, at least this is just coming from me. I feel like you should be able to, but I mean, I know some signals can be very, very, very misleading. But I don't know. I just feel like you should be able to, for the most part, be able to read them. And see if a person's trying to go there or they trying to go there with you. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what I got from, what I'm saying, the last relationships that I was in. So, that's just me putting my little 2 cents in.
To me, I feel like, sometimes people can throw signals, but they may be like flirt. You gotta understand that some people are flirtatious people by nature. So what may be a signal to you, maybe
Yeah,
be them being friendly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and that's
and
that gray area.
I've had experiences like that before where I thought, somebody was into me and they necessarily weren't into me, and I just misread it completely, and you get your feelings hurt, you like, dang, you run back with your tail tucked between your legs, and you like, God, dog, I really thought, old girl like me like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think me and Rob were talking about this as well on Thursday, and I think a lot of times, like one of y'all alluded to, is you can sometimes say the wrong thing, or you can come on too strong, and a woman, or even a man may be into you. You know what I'm saying? But you say that wrong thing, or you come on a certain way, and they may like put you immediately be like, nah, I don't want to mess with them. That's a red flag for them. So they put you in the friend zone, or they don't even want to have nothing to do with you. So I think signals is just that gray area. And it's just like sometimes I think people, if they just gave better signals, especially a lot of women, especially in this culture, like, you know what I'm saying, if you really like a guy and, you giving him eye contact, but you really can't tell if you like him or not, you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and, I don't know, give him a hand signal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like because it's a lot of guys, out there, especially in this day and age. Like I said, with the Me Too movement, like there's a lot of guys that are afraid to approach women, just because they don't want to get in that situation of sexual harassment. I'm not saying that's a good thing, because at the end of the day, you need to be a man, step up to the plate, and shoot your shot. If it don't work, it don't work.
Shoot or
But
shoot.
yeah,
Shoot or
but
shoot.
at the same time, this whole signals thing is based off of attraction at the end of the day. And it goes back to a post I saw with this fat dude. It's like a cartoon with this fat dude with pimples that was trying to talk to a chick in the office, and she was just like totally disgusted by him. And he approached her in a nice way, being respectful of her. He really liked her. And then the dude with the suit and the muscles came in there, and she was all up in his face, like he approached her in the same way. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's kind of like I hate keep saying slippery slope, but it is a slippery slope when you think about like signals, and you may be nice to a guy who you aren't attracted to, and they may read it in the wrong way, but then the guy that you're attracted to approaches you in the same way, and you may give him the play. But that's just, I mean, that's life at the end of the day.
Listen, in grad school, I remember this time, like I met up with this girl. She was from France, and like she invited me back to the room to watch her room in order to watch a movie. And that is Netflix and chill at its precipice. But when I made it to the room based on the girl, I was like, so is this my goal to do something, or am I about to basically be on somebody's CNN newscast talking about, this guy just tried to, sexually assault somebody, and I've always described myself as a habitual ball dropper. I started my sexual life as a wallflower, and I didn't until later on in life. I had a whole phase, and then all of a sudden I got caught up really quickly. I can speak to the concept of and reading when it comes to reading signals. I mean, I think we've kind of talked to it, and I don't want to body shame anybody or anything, or talk down to women of a particular kind, but there are some women that just feel as if like the signals they throw out they're the more forward women, and those usually do seem to always be big girls, unattractive women, like the people who basically they can't just rely on their looks alone to, I hate to say it like that. I don't mean it like that, but like people who can't rely on their looks alone to have somebody come after them. So that sounds so terrible.
You said it.
But
It
I
wasn't
don't
me.
mean it
It
like
wasn't
that.
Reezy
I
Sam.
really
You
don't. Because
Hate
it's not to say
mail.
that, like big women are unattractive. It's not to say that. It's to really to say that there is a history. It feels like, at
Esquire,
least in my
hate
life.
mail.
It just feels as if like there's a history in my life where it feels as if like there are some women that are a little bit more brazen. They shoot their shot at you, and you have to understand how to engage them and know exactly where to go, and hopefully you don't hurt anybody's feelings or come off like an asshole or anything like that, because that's not an intention. People have their preferences, whatever they may be, and you try and act on that. I would say when it comes to reading signals, biggest thing that I can possibly say that I've always done my whole life is, I shoot my shot, shooters shoot, as they say. I shoot my shot, and if I don't feel as if anybody is responding to that, I fall back. I fall way back. I don't want to be that guy that keeps on trying and trying and trying, and then be like, "Well, bitch, I didn't like you anyway." No, I'm not about to be that guy. I try. And then when I feel as if you ain't interested, I fall all the way back. And I feel as if that will actually get you a lot.
That works better. That works better.
Yeah, that works better.
Only one time.
They see that you're not interested anymore. They why aren't you doing like everybody else and checking for me? And then they may actually come back, or they may not. At the very least, you played your position. Don't make yourself look goofy. Just trying to force yourself on someone that's not a good look at all. And I feel as if when it comes to reading signals, I just feel as if we as men, I feel as if we can just do more, I guess, to basically recognize what women are looking for in us, and try to meet them on their level and be the best we possibly can. I really feel bad about what I said earlier, but it's just
it's true though.
The most unattractive people usually are the ones who are trying to more forward. That's for women too.
That's for women and men. That's for both women and men.
Yes, sir.
They get the dude that is the manager of a rent a center. That's just life. How you respond to it. You respond kindly and hope the other person doesn't flip out on you, right? So that's all I can say.
Well, if it's one thing I can say we learned from this episode is don't be like Future, okay? Don't be a simp like your boy PJ. If you're gonna be a gentleman, keep doing the chase. And y'all ugly ones out there, keep shooting your shot. You feel me? But y'all have now made it to the end of the video. If you stuck around this long, we definitely appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My boys, what y'all got to say before we close this thing out?
Shout out to the alma mater, as
Yes,
always,
sir.
Mississippi Valley State University. Yes, sir. You black-owned businesses, everybody. Shout out.
Hey man, I know you see it in the background. Roll Tide, roll, hammer. Yellow hammer. Y'all already know what it is.
We appreciate all the support, all the comments.
Most definitely.
Direct all the hate mail to Esquire once again. But for real, we appreciate it. All the support, all the comments, all the likes, all the shares, and just continue to share it. If you liking the content, continue to support us.
Support us, man, and don't forget, man. We adding the podcast to different streaming platforms, so y'all can check us out on Spotify, and there's a couple of others.
Pod Addict, Podcast Addict, and Pod Chaser, and working on some more.
Soon to be coming to Apple, so y'all be checking out for that.
We're finna be legit, is what they saying.
Hey, yo,
y'all better get on this train.
Be your
You better
best
shoot your
person.
shot now.